Okay. So what to pull out first? There's some things in this box I know that are in there. Sometimes he throws extra stuff in there, so there's stuff that might be in here that I don't already know about. So I'll pull this out first. I knew this was going to be in here. We've got a couple of Game Boy Advance games complete in the box. Oh wow. Holy shit. So this one's actually sealed. Doesn't look like the other one is. But this one's sealed, which is kind of crazy. It's Capcom Classics Mini Mix, Game Boy Advance. And then we have Konami Collector's Series Arcade Advanced. So, Konami Arcade Advanced has, see if I could pronounce this, Yar Kung Fu. I'm probably butchering that, but Frogger, Time Pilot, Russian Attack, Scramble, and Gyrus. So it's got those 6 games. And then Capcom Classics Mini Mix. Oh, wow. Oh, this is pretty cool. So it seems like these are more NES games that were released on the Game Boy Advance, but this is Capcom. So it's got 3 games: Bionic Commando, Strider, and Mighty Final Fight. So I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that had even come out. I thought as far as NES games, the NES Classic series for the Game Boy Advance was the only Nintendo games that came out for the Game Boy Advance. So I just learned something new there. Did not know that. I mean, if Mighty Final Fight is on here and it plays the same and everything, I'd have to try that out to be certain, but if it plays the same, then there's a lot of people that I guess would go after this game rather than spending the money to get, you know, the real cartridge. Not me, because I'm going for a complete, but other people that just, you know, only keep games that they want to play. You know, you can get, I don't know if it's, like I'm saying, I don't know if it's perfect. I'm going to have to test it out, but if it really does play Mighty Final Fight authentically, especially being with the Game Boy Advance adapter for your GameCube, I mean, it might be worth checking into. Alright, so next up, let's grab another game out of here. This one I knew was coming. Fantastic Pinball for the Sega Saturn, and it is a Japanese release. And you know, he showed me this game, he asked me if I wanted it, and I may be wrong, but it kind of almost looks like it's a pinball game, but it's mixed with like these shooter style bosses. So I'm imagining a game where it's like you have these multi-tiered boards of pinball. You have to get up a level, up a level, up a level, and then you have a boss. And it's sort of like I'm saying, these shooter looking style bosses. So I'm really kind of excited to try this game out. And I mean, the disc is in great shape. And I mean, I have a action replay cart on my Sega Saturn that I have flashed off of a CD. You can just download and burn this CD and it flashes the action replay cart, and from then on, as long as you have that card in, you can play any region game. You can also burn games if you want in any region. I mean, it'll play just about anything except for like Dreamcast games. So next up we have Dungeon Master, and this is a Super CD, and this is it's a PCE Works reproduction of the game. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure I saw this, I think this came in a box set but I'm not exactly certain on that. So that's definitely cool to have. So next up, Marlon likes to send us stuff like this because, it's kind of obscure, you know. But this looks like a porno mahjong game. And maybe some of you out there know exactly what this franchise is. But we're gonna have to check this out, see how weird it is. Maybe we'll do a video on this one. I'm gonna have to combine all the porno style games that Marlon sent me. Like there's the what's the other one he sent me? It's like the rock paper scissors Sega Saturn game. I'm gonna have to do that one. There's a virtual lap dance for the PSP that he sent me. I'm gonna have to do a video like just covering all these games, just to check out these weird Japanese games. The virtual lap dance isn't Japanese though. That was an American release. So next up, something I've been waiting for a long time. I did not know for sure if he was putting this in or not, because he had told me that. See, he sends me these pictures, and it's like, if I'm interested in it, then I'll say, yeah, I wouldn't mind getting that. Because it's sort of like he doesn't want me to pay for shipping on something that I don't want, and he has other friends he can send, stuff that I don't want too, so he sends me pictures, and I sort of like, yeah, I collect for this or that or whatever. And I noticed something on his shelf, and I asked him about it, and he was like, that's my copy, it's sealed, whatever, but I think I have an extra copy that's opened. So I'm thinking, it's going to be just a loose disc, and that was fine and everything, but holy shit, dude. Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles complete for the PSP. I've been trying to track this one down for a little while, and I have the I have it on my PSP, the digital file, the ISO, but obviously I wanted a physical copy. And this has Rondo of Blood, a redone version of Rondo of Blood. I still prefer the original Rondo of Blood for the Super CD PC Engine, but it also has Symphony of the Night. Now, I need to try this. I've heard rumors that, like on the Sega Saturn version, you could unlock, in Symphony of the Night, Sega Saturn version, you can unlock Maria as a playable character. Now, I've heard rumors that this version of Symphony of the Night, you could unlock Maria. I don't know if that's true, but it would be really cool if it was. So I'm going to have to check this out just to see if that's possible, because that'd be pretty cool. Either way, that's a cool game to own. Castlevania anything is really cool to own. So, and you know what? As a matter of fact, recently I sent Marlon. He was asking me if I had any Game Boy Advance games, and I said, yeah, I have a ton of Game Boy Advance games, And he's like, you have the Metroids and the Castlevanias, and it's sort of like, like, oh yeah, I do, but they're sort of my favorite. But he's like, well, I'm looking for all of them. They're my favorite, and I'm like, well, they're yours. I mean, Marlon's given us so much stuff over the years, a couple years, that how could I say no to this guy? He's given us, the Virtual Boy Blockbuster rental case. He's given us over 140 issues of Nintendo Power, an Atari Jaguar, the Jaguar CD, everything in this box that I haven't even gotten to yet. He's given us a lot of stuff. So I took, it was let's see, the 3 Castlevania Metroidvania style games. What is it? Harmony of Dissonance, Circle of the Moon, and the other one that's not coming to me. Why is it not coming to me? Is it Portrait of Ruin, Aria of Sorrow? I can't remember which one I'm talking about, but it's the one with Soma on the Game Boy Advance. Those 3 games, and then Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission. So he got those games, and he also wanted this NES box that I had. It was the orange gun version of the action set, because I figured I didn't really need an orange gun and a gray gun action set. I'd rather just keep the gray gun, and he was like, yeah, I'd kind of be into that orange gun, so I put the games in there and I sent him that package, and I really hope you enjoy it, Marlon. So, you know, moving on, and that was deserved. I mean, I still feel like I owe him way more than that. I mean, come on, that's not even a drop in the bucket. So I had no idea this was going to be in here. Let's see. So we've got a Family Feud game in a case, and I'll always take Genesis cases. Another empty Genesis case. It's got a GameCube game in it, Star Wars 2 Original Trilogy. You know, this is probably just stuff that, as he's packing the box, he sees he can fit more, and he tries to look around last minute and just kind of chuck stuff in there that he knows, you know, he doesn't need, or he has extra copies, or he just doesn't collect for, or whatever, you know. So this next thing I knew was coming. We've got a PSP. I think this is a 3000. The sticker's not on here anymore. And it's kind of mixed and matched, so I'm pretty sure at some point a screen broke or something like that, and the shell was kind of sort of replaced as best as possible. So, I mean, this is a refurb unit. Let's see. It's got battery in it. It's got a 16 gigabyte card in it. Knowing Marlon, it's probably loaded to hell. Yep. It's loaded down with all kind of shit. Oh man. I mean, it is loaded down. All sorts of emulators. PC Engine, Master System, all kinds of stuff. That's really cool. Really cool. Now I'm gonna have to try and find the silver pieces for the back and get it to match, because it would be cool to have a silver one. I never had a silver one before. Alright, we're getting down to it. Let's pull this out. So we've got a Final Fantasy action figure, unopened. Let's see. And you know me, I'm not into all these RPG type things, so I have no idea who this is. Legendary Soldier Sephiroth. Y'all can kill me in the comments later for not knowing if I pronounced that right or not. But just never got into games like that. I don't know what to say, you know. But that is cool. I'm gonna save that. You know, I figure at some point I'm gonna finally give them a chance, and I'm gonna, like everybody else, get into them or whatever, you know. But for the time being, I want to sort of concentrate on the NES and a lot of shooters and, you know, Metroidvania style games. That's sort of my bread and butter, and different boxes, and I really want to what's it called, the Express, the TurboGrafx RPC Engine handheld. I don't know if they've actually made them in Japan, but I really want the handheld. Um, really want to try and find a Game Boy Micro, Game Boy Advance Micro. That's one of the things I really want to try and find. The NES Classic Edition of the Game Boy Advance SP. You know, stuff like that.